Hello and welcome back to Roxo Test Kitchen. Today we're doing dessert. The fun thing about a low carb way of eating is that you can kind of section off and decide when you're going to put your carbs to good use. That's what this is all about. We're doing a crustless pumpkin cupcakes, I guess, pie, like little mini pies. And the idea behind that is to get just enough, right? Because sometimes well, I don't know, I won't speak for you, but sometimes meaning me, I'll make myself a big old piece and I'm not going to waste it. But by about 3, 4, 5 bites in, I'm feeling pretty satisfied. So that's the idea behind these. Instead of doing a 9-inch pie, we're going to do 12 little mini pies. All right, so I'm Dr. Sam Graber. I'm thrilled that you're back if you're here for a second helping, or third or fourth. But if you're new, I hope you decide to stick around. Each week, ideally once, if not twice a week, we're dropping recipes that help us adopt more of a low-carb way of eating. So this month it's all about Thanksgiving swaps, because who wants to sit at the table and kind of think, I can't have that. I can't have that. That's not correct. You can have anything you want. Okay, that is a mentality, the diet mentality of I can't have that. It kind of makes foods wrong or us wrong for wanting them. But the beautiful part about using a lower or a slower carb variety or variation is that you can enjoy those things. And the reason we're making these little small pies is so that we can enjoy just enough so that we're happy with what we're getting. All right, so this month we've done cranberry sauce. We did an amazing roasted garlic mashed potatoes. Oh yeah, we did cauliflower. You won't notice. That's got really good cream cheese in it and butter. Gotta have butter. We also did a stuffing, so that's something that you can bring to a party or if you're a guest to someone else's event. And also bring just a side of little toasted up breadcrumbs or bread blocks or whatever, pieces of bread so that someone else can mix it and make it more their own. The idea is to set yourself up for success so you can enjoy the day and not be so worried about what am I going to eat. All right, so let's get started with this crustless pumpkin pie. Alrighty, so where do we start? We go with 3 eggs. I am not able to do this with one hand. I've done that like once or twice in my life and it wasn't very pretty. So we're just gonna go good old fashioned way. Put these guys in here. Oops. Anytime you get a shell in there, no big deal. Just stick your finger in there and fish it out. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna whisk that up nicely. Oh, wrist, I say. There we go. Get that. Try to not get that too messy, but it's gonna. Okay, and then we wanted our sugar. So we use a sugar substitute here. The one I prefer is monk fruit with the erythritol. So many of the sweeteners, like these alternative or lower carb or no carb sweeteners, they have like a little funky aftertaste, and I don't like it, number one, and I keep thinking, why does my body just not like that? But I have found that monk fruit, especially this one, I really like it. You may not, but it's worth trying. I mean, just get a little small container here and give it a shot next time you need something, or definitely for this particular recipe. So we're gonna go 3 of these. We'll mix it up a bit as we go. Just enough. Okay. There's no real method to the madness here. I could have done just, all 3 of them probably at the same time. I just find that when I'm mixing a dry and a liquid, it's just a little nicer to go in portions if I can. Okay, and we have a little left over for something else. Awesome. Okay. The idea is just to get enough air into that. Now we'll do our pumpkin. Do the same thing here, doing just half-ish, and then we'll do our other half. get nice out ready. Now, some people choose to make their own pumpkin. I don't. I think it'll be just fine to do if you have a little extra time, or maybe you know, just real rustic and you like to make your own. I just find this a lot easier. And it doesn't have to be this brand. It could be any brand you got. Let's get all that goodness out and done. Now a place to put all my stuff. Okay. Nice and smooth and well mixed. Kind of like R&B. Good R&B mixtape. And there. Now the heavy cream. Get all that goodness that we can out of that. Beautiful golden color. So this recipe really doesn't take very long. The longest portion is just the cooking part, but it's one of those items for your Thanksgiving feast, or really any time, that you can cook ahead and freeze it and thaw it a day or so before you're going to use it. But by doing these little mini pies, you can take them out the morning of your event and they'll be ready to roll. So those are another little benefit of doing it this way. 1/4 teaspoon salt and a tablespoon. Come on. Oh, shy. There we go. Okay, that's probably a little more than 1/4 teaspoon. Okay. And then a tablespoon of this good stuff. So we want to know we're having pumpkin pie. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to heat up our handy dandy air fryer slash oven slash dehydrator, because it doesn't take very long to heat up. If you're using a conventional oven, you probably want to start that well before you get started here. Do this. So we want 2 tablespoons of coconut flour, and you want to mix it separately into 2 tablespoons of water. Coconut flour, it's really absorptive, so it's an excellent thing to use in something like this, this kind of recipe. Now, because it's a dry good and because it's coconut flour, I want to just do a level tablespoon instead of a heaping tablespoon. Use this one. So here we get just a nice paste, basically. I feel like I'm making a potion. We watched the Harry Potter baking show last night. Started watching that, totally obsessed at this point. It is amazing how creative people can be. So this, when this finished up, it just gives it a little bit of crumbiness instead of being a paste or a mixture like we got for the pumpkin. So we're going to add that in there. We got that, then add to that, batter and smooth it. No lumps remain. Awesome. We can do that. And if you see any lumps as you're going through here, just break them up a little bit with your whisk. All right, so we have a couple different options here. Now, if you have a silicone baking sheet that fits in your oven, you can use that, and that's really nice because you just pop these out once they've cooled. I'm going to use these little handy dandy cupcake papers because they will just help these come out, come out easier and stay separated easier. Okay. But if you want to have like, kind of fancy, you can use parchment paper. You can also, like I say, use those silicone molds, and that would be a great way to have a little fancier ones. But I'm good with these, so I'm gonna weigh them down just a bit. I'm gonna use this little mini ladle, but you can also use your probably quarter cup would be just the right amount. I just find this one a little more fun to use. Alrighty. I'll do one in each, and then I'll add as I go. Oh, great. There you go. Okay. I haven't made this exact one before. So we'll see. Now I expect that these will pretty much double in height. So I'm going to give these close to one more entire scoop, and that should be just perfect. So one thing when you're baking, you got to expand. It's going to expand, so you have to be ready for that. I don't know about you, but I have definitely overfilled my containers and ended up with a little cleaning job. That's no fun. No bueno. Okay, so I've learned I'm gonna just wipe this off so that we don't get that smells burnt, because it won't be the actual pies, it'll be this junk on the side. So let me go clean that up and I'll put it in our oven, and then we're going to give it, if it was just the pie, we would be looking at about 50 minutes. So I'm gonna do 25 for these, and then I'm gonna take one out and just kind of feel it and see how it looks. So I'll see you back in probably 2 minutes on your time, but probably 25 on mine. Okay, I'm coming back in to see how this is looking. All right, looking pretty decent. Now they're not going to be done. Dark here. All right, spirit. They're not going to be done. Oh, we can see that pop down quite a bit. So I wanted to show you, like, they're getting a little clear. I know we want to go a little longer, but interesting how they're gonna pop down quite a bit in some of these. So let's get back in here. I'm going to just turn these around. And since we did 25 minutes there, I'm gonna do about 15 now, since these are smaller. Okay, oh gosh, it smells so good. Let us see if we are into business. Okay. So we have a couple that have shrinked a bit, and I just think that's a great vessel for cream. Let's check it out. Okay, so just like with a cake, we want to be sure that there's nothing coming off of that. I would say these all look nice and clean. Okay. I don't think we normally have to do all those, but I'm a little nervous since it wasn't as long as I was anticipating. So we actually did 25 minutes. We did 30 minutes. So I'm gonna mark that down here. Okay, and then we had enough left over to probably get us a good 8. So I'm gonna say that we'll get 20 servings out of this, and technically a serving is probably going to be 2. So 10, 21, but yeah, good math. All right, so I'll be back in a couple hours once this is cooled off, and then we'll taste it out. Okay, back in a bit. I don't know about you, but any excuse to make some whipped cream, your girl is down. So we are gonna add some, make some up for enjoying our new little pumpkin. I don't know, are we calling them muffins, mini pumpkin pies? How about mini pumpkin pies? That's gonna be it. All right, so I like to put about that much. What do we have in there? About a quarter cup of heavy cream, and I'm just gonna put a good little boop. That's that little amount of vanilla in there. So that was a little boop, which is like basically a top full. And now some people might want to put a little sweetener, but because I've been low carb for so long, I really find that heavy cream is sweet enough. But feel free, add whatever you like. I like this little guy. I find it so easy. I don't know if you can see that. Are we doing that anymore? Oh, we don't have that one anymore. Okay. So I don't think you can see it, but it's got a very nice It's increasing in volume, and it's just put air in there. Okay, so I try to get it where it won't move like that. So we're gonna go a little bit longer. All right, we are in the business. So I'm gonna make him look a little nicer by taking this out. All right, did okay. It's a little choppy there, but that's all right. Be a bit better with the silicone ones. It'll just come right out easily. Here we go. Got that nice little spot for our heavy whipping cream. And last one. Right on. Okay, so yes, you're counting 3. I'm gonna enjoy that. All right. Put a little bit of the cinnamon on it too. Okay. Kind of feel like when you're doing something like this, it's nice to have a ritual and maybe go all out and enjoy it a bit more than maybe you would normally, especially when it's Thanksgiving. Okay. Do a little here.